Hi everybody, welcome to our special Royal Ascot Preview show. Today, here I am, joined with our professional tipster, Keith Bond. Welcome, Keith. There he is. G'day, Keith.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So the purpose of this Royal Ascot Preview show is to have a look through the card of our next exciting 5 days of racing that's coming from Royal Ascot. Feels a little bit different this year, Keith.
It's absolutely different. All behind closed doors, extra races. It's still a very thrilling prospect, but it's obviously not quite the same without the crowds there. Be no Queen. I hope they actually show clips of her Windsor Castle trying different hats on, just so we get a bit of fun there.
Yeah, we can't bet on what colour she's going to be wearing this year, can we?
No, I think they should. Like I said, I think they should do something, and obviously there'll be a few ringers that working in the castle, like saying, "Oh, she's definitely wearing blue today."
Absolutely. So normally we've got 30 races over 5 days. This year we've got 6 more races that are fit in. We've got loads of Group 1 racing each and every day. There's some Group 1 racing. As I said, we're going to go through the card, aren't we? So we're going to go to day 1, which is tomorrow, Tuesday. And the first race of the day is the Buckingham Palace Stakes.
Yeah, the Buckingham Palace Handicap, it's for 3-year-olds and over a distance of 7 furlongs. It was first run in 2002 when the Royal Ascot meeting was extended for the Queen's Golden Jubilee. But then they ran it until 2014 when it was replaced by the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup. But now it's back, and hope we get a thrilling race, something like the one we had in 2006 when Yoo-Hoo Magoo won. It's absolutely wide open race though, this one. The bookmakers go 8-1 the field, and the leading contenders are Darrick, Mutamassic, Cliffs of Capri, Blown by Wind, First Contact and Greenside. I have my eye on one at a double figure price for this.
Oh, okay, cool. That sounds intriguing. Next up, we've got the Queen Anne Stakes.
Yeah, the Queen Anne Stakes is our first Group 1 of the week. It's for 4-year-olds and over a distance of a mile. Generally, fancied horses do well in this. 10 of the last 12 were in the first 2 in the betting. But in the time-honoured manner, that stat was debunked in the last couple of years when we had 33-1 and 14-1 winners.
Wow.
It's a bit of an enigma this year, though, with none of the leading contenders ticking every box. Last year's St James Palace winner Circus Maximus is a warm favourite at 5-2, and Dahlia winner Turabellum and Fox Chairman are the next in the market at 7-1, 8-1 respectively. It's one of those races I'm not quite put my pin in exactly where I want to have it yet.
All right, okay.
Hang on, I'm sorry I missed my note there. I did actually pick it, and Turabellum's going to be my choice for the race. It's going to be the first leg of my lucky 15.
Okay, so Turabellum is your first choice of the week that you're picking in there, and that is in the Queen Anne Stakes. Race number 2 tomorrow. Excellent. Next up we got then is the Ribblesdale Stakes. Yeah,
the Ribblesdale is a Group 2. It's for 3-year-old fillies of a distance of 1 mile 4 furlongs. John Gosden has trained 2 of the last 3 winners of the Ribblesdale, and he has a strong hand again this year with 2 of the market leaders, Frankly Darling and Miss Yoda. Both of them have already scored this season, and jockey bookings suggest that Frankly Darling, a daughter of Frankel, is their more favoured runner. But Miss Yoda, who took a listed race last time, is no back number. The other leading contenders are Trefoil and Born with Pride.
Okay, fantastic. Then it's on to the King Edward, the 7th Stakes.
Yes, the potato race, King Edward. King Edward the 7th. It's another Group 2 for 3-year-olds. Colts and Geldings in this one. It's also over 1 mile 4 furlongs. Only 6 runners are due to line up, and on paper just 4 of them have a realistic chance. Mogul and Arthur's Kingdom are trained by Aidan O'Brien, and splitting them in the betting is Mohican Heights and Papa Power, who completes that quartet. One of those 4 will win the race. I'll tell you tomorrow which one I think it will be.
I like it. So it moves on to our feature race of the day, the King Stand Stakes. That's another Group 1, isn't it?
Yeah, the King Stand and feature race, the Group 1 for 3-year-olds plus over a distance of 5 furlongs. Tremendous race at the minimum, always run at full pelt. A very, very bad race for favourites, but 11 of the last 12 winners have come from the first 5 in the betting. Winning course form's pretty important too. We were asked a question by one of our members for this one, Chris Wigg.
Chris Wigg was asking, can the favourite Batash win at the King's Stand Stakes, even though he's been beaten 3 times at Royal Ascot?
Yeah, well, he is favourite again this year, and after finishing behind Blue Point in the last 2 years. Blue Point's now retired. Batash might just be the one to side with tomorrow, but there's some very, very smart opposition. Glass Slippers, who won the Prix d'Abbey, Batash was down the field in that race. And there's Liberty Breach and Equilateral. I think odds are about Batash is a bit short, and he might not get things his own way. So I could be tempted to take him on. I'll have to, obviously, I'll have a final look through the card tomorrow morning, and I'll decide if it's going to be Batash or one of the others.
Brilliant, thank you. So on to race number 6, the Duke of Cambridge Stakes.
Yeah, the Duke of Cambridge is a Group 2. It's for 4-year-olds and over, and it's for fillies and mares only, of over a distance of a mile. Horses at the head of the market tend to shine in this race, and the ones to concentrate on are Newcastle listed winner Nazif, Jubiloso, who has Group 3 placed form, Miss O'Connor, a Group 2 winner last autumn, and finally Lavender's Blue. They're my prime contenders for the race.
Brilliant. So VIP members will get all of those tips out in the morning, won't they? So that's absolutely fantastic.
All VIP members will get the tips in the morning, probably around about 9 o'clock.
Awesome. So the last race of day 1, we made it all the way through day 1, and that's fantastic. So we got the Ascot Stakes. It's race number 7.
Yeah, the Ascot Stakes is a handicap. It's for 4-year-olds and over, a distance of 2 miles 4 furlongs. Obviously, a bit of a marathon trip. No winners returned at odds of 12 to 1 or more in the last 11 years. It's best to concentrate on horses in that price range. The market leader is Nicky Henderson's Verdana Blue, and other leading contenders include Land of Oz, Moon King, Summer Moon, Dioclectician, I can't even say that word, Dubai 50, and it's going to take a bit of head scratching to come up with the winner. I don't expect to finalise my selection until tomorrow morning.
Okay, cool. So that concludes day 1 of a fantastic day of racing. We're going to move on to day 2 now. Day 2, which starts us off with the Silver Royal Hunt Cup.
Yeah, I'll just change my notes so people can see that I'm obviously reading it.
That's good, mate. Well, it's a lot of races to get through, isn't there? So lots of
36 races. I can't do without a crib sheet. Right, so Silver Royal Hunt Cup it's a heritage handicap for 3-year-olds and over a distance of a mile. It's basically the consolation for the Royal Hunt Cup, which is later on in the card. There are 24 runners declared, and it will be a veritable cavalry charge. Being a new race, we need to rely heavily on the parent race, but with lower framing of the race, because the official rating of the highest rated horse in this race is actually £13 lower than the highest one in the Royal Hunt Cup itself later in the day. Things are certain to pan out differently because of that. One thing this race may do, though, is give the jockeys an indication of which part of the track is favoured, which will help them later on. Leading contenders include Uzo, Maidani, Presidential, Alternative Fact and Nicklaus, and I'm a long way from deciding which of these 2 dozen runners are favouring this.
Fair enough. So the next race of the day is the Hampton Court Stakes.
Yeah, the Hampton Court Stakes is a Group 2 for 3-year-olds over a distance of 1 mile 2 furlongs. There are only 8 runners declared, so after that 24 run of cavalry charge, we're down to 8 runners, which is far easier to sort out, I hope.
Fair enough.
The race tends to favour those at the head of the market, so I think we can actually strike out of 4 of the 8 to start with. So the winner, in my opinion, should come from Juan Elcano, First Receiver, Russian Empire, and Berlin Tango. My choice will be revealed on Wednesday morning when I have more idea about the forecasted going and the likely weather conditions, because I don't know about you, but where I am, the thunderstorms forecast, anything could happen.
Absolutely. It's very changeable at the minute, the weather. I think that's the word we use, isn't it? So King George V Stakes is our next race of the day. Yeah,
the King George V is a handicap for 3-year-olds, or a distance of 1 mile 4 furlongs. A stat to note is that all of the last 12 winners have carried 9 stone 1 or less, and on the draw, 9 of the last 12 winners have been drawn between stalls 8 and 18, which is a fairly narrow band. There are 18 declared for this middle distance handicap. and it's a good opportunity to pick up a winner at a double figure price. There are plenty of opportunities to pick up a loser too. Hughie Morrison's Kips heads the market, but many of these merit consideration, and life is too short to list them all.
Excellent. So our featured race of the day is the Prince of Wales Stakes, another Group 1.
Yeah, the Group 1 Prince of Wales Stakes, it's for 4-year-olds and over. It's our feature race of the day. Over 1 mile and 2 furlongs for 4-year-olds and over. Aidan O'Brien's Japan is hot favourite. His Juddmonte International win last year and 4th in the Prix d'Arc de Triomphe brings solid Group 1 form to the table. Godolphin have Barney Roy in the race. But despite a couple of Group race wins in Maidan in the spring, he may find this company a little bit hot. And the 1 mile 2 furlong could even be too far for him. Headman is another in with a shout. His winning form in a pair of French Group 2s is pretty robust. And I have to mention last year's Wolverton Stakes winner, Adayeb, who landed a pair of Group 1s on his Australian raid in March and April. I don't actually know how he's got back for this race in time, but there we go. And he was going to have every chance if that rain comes and it is softer than ideal. But I am going to lay my cards on the table for this, and I fully believe that Japan will win this, and I would say that Japan's probably my best bet of the week.
Okay. We'll come back to that a bit later. That's great. The race number 5, the Royal Hunt Cup, is up next.
Yeah. Right. The Royal Hunt Cup is a heritage handicap over a mile for 3-year-olds and over. Like the Silver Royal Hunt Cup later in the day, it's got to be tricky to work out. A couple of stats that might help are the weight. 9 of the last 12 winners have carried between 9 stone and 9 stone 5. 8 of the last 12 winners have been drawn in stall 19 or higher. Lord Tennyson, Belrock, Aljara and Montham, and last year's winner Afak. You've got to say that right, because Mick Fitzgerald usually says it wrong. It's Afak. and they all head the market.
Fantastic. Race number 6 then is the Windsor Castle Stakes.
Yeah, the Windsor Castle Stakes are a listed race for 2-year-olds over a distance of 5 furlongs. It's a very, very bad race for fillies, and there's been no winning filly in the last 12 years, and only 2 have been placed in that time. Favourites also tend to struggle, and there's been plenty of big price winners over the years. Wesley Ward's American Raider Sunshine City is the current favourite with Chief Little Hawk, Sheriff Bianco and Tactical all at the top of the market.
Fantastic. Take us on to our last race of the day, a new addition, the Copper Horse Handicap. Yeah,
the Copper Horse Handicap is for 4-year-olds plus over a distance of 1 mile and 6 furlongs. This race is going to sort out the men from the boys, really. We've got no indicators to go off. We have to rely on the form of the participants. The betting market favours Proven Stay, Collide, but I suspect the going may be a bit quick for him, unless, of course, that rain comes, which I keep mentioning. Mm-hmm. Branch and All Right Sunshine and The Max We Can all tick a few boxes and merit consideration in the race too.
Okay, cool. That's the end of day 2, so that's Wednesday's racing over and done with. We're moving on to Thursday now. And the first one, again, another new addition, the Golden Gates Handicap.
Yeah, the Golden Gates Handicap is for 3-year-olds over 1 mile and 2 furlongs. A distance that's well catered for in the black type races at Royal Ascot, but until now there's been nothing for handicappers. Well, not since the Wolverton Stakes was upgraded to listed a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. It would be nice to think that the Golden Gates Handicap would be kept in the Royal Ascot card for future years, especially if this extended forecast is kept on. It's a tricky race. They're going 6-1 the field at the moment. Acquitted is most likely to go off favourite, but other leading contenders are the Godolphin pair of Global Storm and Ya Hayati, and John Gosden's Hypothetical is also going to be popular, and especially as Frankie Dettori's taking the ride on that one. It's another mystery. It's going to take a little bit of unravelling.
Lots of mysteries this week, mate. Lots of mysteries.
There's a whole lots of mystery. Definitely, it's all a mystery, Jason. It's going to be a mystery after racing to see why I actually picked that one in the first place. Sometimes.
Fair enough. Here we go. Race number 2 then of the day is the Wolverton Fet Stakes.
Yeah, the Wolferton Stakes is a listed race for 4-year-olds and over 1 mile, 2 furlongs. We have no stats to go off as the conditions changed in 2018 when the race stopped being a handicap, so we're basically peeing in the wind on this one. There's 16 winners due to go to post, but I think it actually be narrowed down to 3. The trio are Fox Tie, Chester Vase winner Sir Dragonet, and Regal Reality trained by Michael Stout. So basically, we're narrowing this race down to 3 from 16. I firmly believe the winner will come from one of those 3.
Brilliant. Okay, that's brilliant. The Jersey Stakes is up next.
Yeah, the Jersey Stakes are Group 3 for 3-year-olds over a distance of 7 furlongs. Only 3 favourites have won in the last 12 years. 6 winners came from the first 3 in the betting. And the draw has been is pretty major stat as well. 10 of the last 12 winners have been drawn between stalls 4 and 10. It's another difficult race to assess, partly because of the lack of racing, as we have no indication of whether half the field is actually trained on this season. King Leon Dois and Maltaham and Celestine are vying for favouritism at around 6 or 7 to 1, but I wouldn't discount any of the runners at the moment.
Okay. Fourth race today, the Cheltenham Stakes.
Yeah, on to the Chesham, a listed race for 2-year-olds over 7 furlongs. Key stats are that 11 of the last 12 winners didn't wear any headgear. The other one actually was wearing a first-time hood. 11 of the last 12 winners have been drawn between stalls 1 and 8. Winners of this race often turn out to be a little bit special. Last year's winner was Pinatubu, who became champion 2-year-old. Modern News, Battleground and Bright Devil look like the 3 to concentrate on in this race.
Okay, cool. And then it's on to our feature race of the day.
Yeah,
That's the Ascot Go Cup.
Yeah, the feature race, the Ascot Gold Cup, Group 1 for 4-year-olds and over a distance of 2 mile, 4 furlong. Originally, this was billed as a rematch between dual Gold Cup winner Stradivarius and Kew Gardens, who lowered his colours in the Long Distance Cup back in October. But Kew Gardens has since been scratched due to a problem at home. There's still plenty of questions that need answering about this, though. Is Stradivarius actually as good as he was? He's been beaten in his last 2 races now, and at around 4 to 7 in the betting, market confidence is still very high about him, though. But what about the other leading contenders? We've got Technician, Cross Counter, and Nairth Road. I have my eye on an each-way option to take on Stradivarius, but a lot will depend on the race day conditions. The sun is forecast for Gold Cup Day. Let's hope they've got that right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, sixth race, penultimate race of Thursday is the Britannia Stakes.
Yeah, the Britannia is a heritage handicap for 3-year-old colts and geldings over a distance of 1 mile. It's an opportunity to pick up a decent price winner, as no horse has returned at a price of under 6 to 1 in the last 12 years, and 8 of them have been between 10 to 1 and 28 to 1.
Oh, wow.
11 of the last 12 winners have had an official rating between 87 and 96, which is a pretty narrow band in a competitive handicap. 24 runners are due to go to post, and the odds currently range from 8 to 1 to 33 1, which just about leaves everything in the mix. Finest Sound is the current market leader, and others worth noting include Verboten, Cherokee Trail, Dubai Mirage, and Enemy. I expect my final selection to come from these 4.
Brilliant, thank you. And our last race of the day is the Sandringham Stakes.
Yeah, Gold Cup Day concludes with Sandringham Stakes, a handicap for 3-year-old fillies over a distance of 1 mile. None of the last 12 winners won any headgear, but one of them was in first-time tongue tie. It's funny how that keeps happening. 11 of the last 12 winners have carried 11 stone, 7 pounds or more. African Queen is a pretty warm favourite at 9 to 4, but I'm not sure about her completely, as she's getting in off just 8 stones, which is a bit lower than the stats are showing. Declared interest, Sofika and Waliyak may give her a run for the money.
Fantastic. So that's our day 3 over and done with. We're moving on to day 4, and another new race again, the Holyrood House Handicap.
Yeah, race 1 on. It's a 5th of the new races that we've got for the week. It's Where are we? The Holyrood handicap. It's for 3-year-olds over a distance of 5 furlongs. Top 3-year-old sprint handicappers have been attracted to this. And one thing for certain, they won't be hanging around at all in this again. Expect it to be run at a blistering pace, and if conditions are right, a 5 furlong record time for 3-year-olds could be in danger. Leading contenders are Art Power, Will to Win, Ainsdale, Maystar and Golden Dragon. I'll be waiting till the final declarations are known for this race before trying to fathom it out. Because
it's probably worth saying that, mate, isn't it? That the final declarations haven't happened yet for this race, and so it's a bit tricky to kind of forecast for Friday and Saturday what's going to happen.
Exactly, we get the final declarations on Wednesday for Friday. No, we should get the ones for Friday tomorrow, and we'll get Saturday's ones on Wednesday. So we get a bit of draw data and things like that, which all helps unravel the puzzles.
Fantastic. Albany Stakes are next.
Yeah, the Albany is a Group 3 for 2-year-old fillies over a distance of 6 furlongs. All of the last 12 winners have been drawn in stalls 12 or higher. And the last run form, 11 of the last winners won on the last run. Winning form over 6 furlongs is also worth quite a bit too. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting to be taking on the market leader, More Beautiful, and the second favourite, Flying Althea. And at the moment, I'm looking at last time out winners, Setari and Golden Medley. The draw may affect my final decision.
Fair enough. Race number 3 of the day is the Norfolk Stakes.
Yeah, the Norfolk Stakes is a Group 2 for 2-year-olds over a distance of 5 furlongs. It's a good race for the fancied runners, and the market leaders are again the ones to be studying. Mark Johnson's been very bullish about Eye of Heaven, and Aidan O'Brien's Admiral Nelson merits respect. Personally, I think it's between these two, but Eye of Heaven edges it for me with Frankie Dettori booked to ride, and it's going to be leg 3 of my Lucky 15, Eye of Heaven.
Okay, fantastic. We'll look at that again in a little while. The Hardwick Stakes are next up, race number 4.
Yeah, Hardwick Stakes, it's a race I love, it's absolute quality. It's Group 2 for 4-year-olds and over a distance of 1 mile 4 furlongs. 11 of the last 12 winners have been aged 4 and the other one was 5. All of the last 12 winners have been drawn between stalls 2 and 9. The field absolutely oozes quality, with last year's Derby winner and free racing tips tip Anthony Van Dyke heading the betting. My favourite horse in training, Ella Calm, is also expected to line up, and other leading contenders include Sir Dragonet, Default and Magic Wand. Naturally, I'll be waiting for more information before I finalise things. I don't think all these will actually run. Sir Dragonet, I've already mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Can't remember which race it was in now.
Fair enough. Next up is our feature race, the Commonwealth Cup.
Yeah, the Commonwealth Cup, a Group 1 for 3-year-olds and over. No, sorry, just 3-year-olds. It's a distance of 6 furlongs. First run in 2015, so there's limited stats to go off. All 5 winners have been drawn between stalls 3 and 8. A very wide open renewal with 20 declared at the initial entry stage. How many of these will defect when the final declarations are announced remains to be seen. Mill Reef Stakes winner Pierre Lapin, or Peter Rabbit if you want to translate it into English, heads the market, and other leading contenders include Golden Horde, the American Raider Kimari, Loppy Yai Fernandez, Wooded Mums Tipple, and the 1,000 Guineas flop Mill Isle, who could well bounce back to form.
Fair enough. Peter Rabbit, there we go.
Peter Rabbit, that's the one.
Race number 6 then is the Queen's Vase.
Yeah, the Queen's Vase is a Group 2 for 3-year-olds over a distance of 1 mile 6 furlongs. Key stats here: 11 of the last 12 winners have been colts, and 11 of the last 12 winners finished in the first 3 last time. Providing they all line up on Friday, I expect the winner to come from one of these 5. There's Berkshire Rocco, Aldebaran, Noble Prize, On Guard, and San Diego. Fantastic.
As the field narrows as we get closer and the declarations are made, and you can make that selection a bit closer to the time. Absolutely. Of course, all our VIP members will get the tips in the morning of the racing by 9 o'clock for that day, and you get a tip for every single race at Royal Ascot. Here we are for race number 7 then, the Duke of Edinburgh Stakes.
Yeah, the Duke of Edinburgh Stakes is a handicap for 3-year-olds and over a distance of 1 mile 4 furlongs. 10 of the last 12 winners have carried between 9 stone and 9 stone 7, and 10 of the last 12 winners have been drawn between stall 10 and stall 16, so they're pretty narrow bands, both of those. Currently, there are 45 entries for the race, and a maximum of 19 will be lining up on the day. And with the draw being very important, it's another waiting game, but fancied runners do well, and the leading contenders include Fujiara Prince, Durston, Laffey and West End Charmers.
Fantastic. So moving on to the last day, and we haven't got 7 races, but we've got 8 races on Saturday, starting a little bit earlier as well. It's at 1:45, the first race, and that's the Silver Wokingham Stakes.
Right, the Silver Wokingham Stakes is a heritage handicap for 3-year-olds and over a distance of 6 furlongs. It's basically a consolation race for those horses balloted out of the Wokingham handicap later in the day, and it's sure to help punters and jockeys decide where the faster going is and which stalls are favoured when it comes to that later race. But there's nothing for this race yet until the entries are declared for that main race, as the runners for this will be made up with what's left over after they've been taken up.
Fair enough. So race number 2 is the Queen Mary.
Yeah, the Queen Mary Stakes is a Group 2 for 2-year-olds over a distance of 5 furlongs. A good recent run is vital for this race in recent years. 9 of the last 12 have won last time out, and the other 3 made the frame. 9 of the last 12 winners were drawn between stall 12 and stall 22, so it's the higher numbers which have done well in this race in the past. It's been yet another race where the draw is pretty significant. It will be Wednesday before we get a clear picture of this race, but the top fancies are American Raider Campanelle, who has Frankie booked. O'Brien has more Beautiful entered. Sacred and Happy Romance make up the first 4 in the market. As like I said, the draw's important, and it also depends on what's actually going to run on the day.
Okay. Keep disappearing behind your notes there, Keith.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're absolutely fine. No worries. Our first Group 1 of the last day is the Coronation Stakes.
Yeah, well, the Coronation Stakes is a Group 1 for 3-year-olds. For 3-year-old fillies over a distance of 1 mile. 11 of the last 12 winners have had at least one group race win, and 6 of them have won a Group 1 in the past. It's a proper quality race which is in prospect with Irish 1,000 guineas winner Peaceful heading the market, but that race might be too soon for her after that effort last weekend. 1,000 guineas third, Quadrilateral is second favourite. Run Wild and Cloak of Spirits are also fancied.
Fab, thank you. Squeezing a Group 2 before our next Group 1, and that's the Coventry Stakes.
Yeah, the Coventry Stakes is a Group 2 for 2-year-olds over a distance of 6 furlongs. Fancied horses do well in this race as well. 10 of the last 12 winners have come from the first 3 in the betting market. All of the last 12 winners had won last time out. Very important stats, and last year's first 3 home all fitted them. Another O'Brien horse, Admiral Nelson's been installed as a favourite, but as he's also got an entry for Friday, we don't know which race he's going to run in yet. He could even run in both. He's not unknown. If entries remain unchanged, I think it's a toss-up between Admiral Nelson, Creative Force, and Quadar.
Fantastic. So here we are. Our next Group 1 of the day is the St James's Palace Stakes.
Yeah, St James's Palace Stakes, Group 1 featured race of the day for 3-year-old colts over a distance of 1 mile. 8 favourites have won the race in the last 12 years, and 11 winners have had at least one win in the current season. We're on for a treat here as last year's top 2-year-old Pinatubo and Wichita, who were 3rd and 2nd in the 2,000 guineas respectively, both priced up at around 7 to 4, and the race could actually turn out to be between those two. The main threats to that pair are Threat, ironically, and Palace Pier.
That's Pier. Okay, great. And then it's on to our third Group 1 of the day, the Diamond Jubilee Stakes.
Yeah, the third Group 1 of the day. Diamond Jubilee Stakes, a Group 1 for 4-year-olds and over a distance of 6 furlongs. On the statistics front, these are limited because conditions altered in 2015. 4 of the 5 winners since then have been drawn between stalls 3 and 9. 5 of the winners were rated between 114 and 120. Sceptical or impressed that Nass is a hot favourite, and I'm confident he will win. I'm putting him for the final leg of my Lucky 15. The ones to follow him home are likely to be Hello Zane and One Master.
Fantastic, thank you. Our penultimate race of the week is the Wokingham Stakes.
The Wokingham Stakes Heritage Handicap for 3-year-olds of a distance of 6 furlongs. It's a particularly bad race for colts with no winners at all and only 5 making the frame from 40 runners in the last 12 years. No weights and no betting market and 86 entries. We've simply got to have to wait for this one, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. 86 entries, that's pretty good going. And then the last race of the week, of the day, is the Queen Alexandra Stakes.
Yeah, the final race of the week. I'm absolutely worn out just reading about them, let alone watching them all. It's the Queen Alexandra Stakes, a conditions race for 3-year-olds and over the marathon trip of 2 miles and 6 furlongs. 5 of the last 12 winners were bred in Ireland, 4 in Germany and 2 in Great Britain and 1 in France. There's a mini angle there. German-bred winners came from just 13 runners and produced an SP profit of £21 to level £1 stakes, which is a return on investment of 161%. So it's pretty impressive, that. But I haven't checked to see if there's any Germans running this year, though. 8 of the last 12 winners returned an SP of 6 to 1 or less, and no winner in the last 12 years has been over 12 to 1. It's another race where we don't have a betting market at the moment, and being over the marathon trip, a confirmed stayer is basically omnipotent. Andrew Baldwin and Mark Johnson runners are worthy of a second look, as are any national hunt bred horses from the likes of Nicky Henderson and Alan King. Henderson's Verdana Blue is entered, but he also has an entry in one of the other staying races earlier in the week. And Mark Johnson has Summer Moon entered, but it's too early for anything other than speculation.
Fair enough. Well, while we're talking about some trainers there, how's it looking from the training front? Who have you got for your top trainer of the week?
Right, on the training front, we've got the leading trainers are Aidan O'Brien, who's going to be mob-handed in many of the races. He's got a team of fantastic jockeys and fantastic horses. Ryan Moore is one of his main jockey, and he's going to be hard to pass for the 2020 Royal Ascot Crown. John Gosden, who's got a good team of jockeys and horses as well. He'll be taking this trainer's title right to the wire. Charlie Appleby obviously has the might of Godolphin behind him, and Appleby's got plenty of firepower there. He's likely to be in contention for winning trainer. And Sir Michael Stout, the winning most Royal Ascot trainer ever. He had his first winner in 1977. He's still firing on all cylinders. Stout's he's going to be high up there with winners too. My choice for the week is Aidan O'Brien.
Aidan O'Brien, okay. Fantastic. And how about your top jockey?
Right, top jockey. We'll start with leading contenders. We've got Ryan Moore, who benefits from having the pick of Aidan O'Brien's team, but he also gets the leg up on many of Michael Stout's runners too. Will Buick has the might of the Godolphin operation behind him. He's got trainers Saeed Bin Sura and Charlie Appleby, and he's sure to have some leading fancies in some of the races. And then we've got Franco Dettori, who's synonymous with Ascot. He rides the course better than any other jockey. He'll have the pick of the John Gosden's team, and he's going to pick up quite a few outside road rides too. I've already mentioned that he's on one of Mark Johnson's. My pick is Franco Dettori, and while Moore has the pick of the O'Brien team, O'Brien's less fancied runners often pip the favourites. So I think that the Tory, who gets the cream of the Gosden crop, is going to get the title.
It's going to get the title. Okay, fantastic. So we always put out to our members for questions and things, and just like our Cheltenham preview night, the same questions kind of come up. So, Keith, I know we've been through each of the cards, and you've named a few horses in there as options. But your best bet of the week?
My best bet of the week, I would say, is Japan on on Wednesday, the 3 o'clock. Currently around about 11 to 10.
Fantastic, fantastic. So then they always go, well, what's your next best, Keith?
My next best, Eye of Heaven, the Mark Johnson runner with Frank Editorial, like I mentioned earlier. It's on Friday at 2:25 and currently around about 7 to 2 in the market. He's the next best.
Fantastic, fantastic. So if I was going to put a 3-horse together for a treble or maybe a patent, what are we going to put in there for your third option?
For my third option, I would go for Skeptical, who runs on Saturday. It's a fantastic sprinter, defected from the King's Stand on Tuesday. I don't know if he was scared of Batash or what, but whatever. But he's really, really good horse, and I think that he'll take a lot of beating on Saturday. 3:25, Skeptical at 5 to 2.
Fantastic, fantastic. And then we always go like a lucky 15, don't we, at Free Racing Tips? So for a lucky 15, what's your fourth selection? What can we put in there for that one?
Yeah, to finish off the lucky 15, we've got one in the 150 tomorrow. Tirabellum, currently round about 7 to 1. It's a John Gosden charge, and I think that he's going to go really well, and he's the fourth horse in my lucky 15 for the week.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, I know that there's a few bonuses, mate, isn't there? So for our VIP members, join our VIP club, and you're going to get access to all of your tips for all of the races through the week, aren't you? You've got some tips there for every single race.
Maybe if you sign up for
as well.
If you sign up to the FRT VIP.
Am I just losing you there a second, Keith? Well, it was kind of going swimmingly, so I think I might just take over that. There you are, mate. Sorry, you disappeared there. It went all a bit stopped. I think the internet kind of broke in, so you were in your full force about what the VIP club.
Yeah, I've went full force about the VIP club, but we've also got some bonuses if you join before 10 a.m. tomorrow. The following bonuses are my Royal Ascot handicappers, which make up into each way lucky 31. Plus my lay of the week. That concludes the bonuses.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to thank you, Keith. I know you've got lots more studying to do to get the right selections in for tomorrow, and then all through the week. I believe you're doing a preview of the day around about lunchtime. Is it brunch with Bond or something? Is that right? Yeah,
I'll be putting up a preview of the race, but I'll already have got the tips out by then anyway. I'll just quickly. What I'll do is I'll quickly recap. It'll start on Wednesday morning. I'll quickly recap how the day before went and quickly go through the runners for the day, which I'll already selected, and the VIP members will already have had.
Excellent, and that's going to go out in the VIP lounge on Facebook. What sort of time are you going to do that? What time's your brunch start?
I'll probably put that out round about 12 o'clock.
About 12 o'clock. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Keith, and spare some time just to run through your thoughts of the week. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to say thank you, and then I'm going to pop that screen back up so that you can have a look about what you're going to get if you manage to join the VIP club before 10 o'clock tomorrow. And thanks very much, and enjoy the racing.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.